Alright, what is up, everybody? So, today, following closely ahead of the potential commander bans or unbans, which is more likely if the new committee at Wizards is going to stick to their guns on what they said of, hey, we're not really going to make any bans first off, we're going to look at cards that can potentially be unbanned. We have a good old tier list and we're going to go through these cards hopefully as quick as possible, and we have 3 categories. So ban, basically keep it banned. Then we have situational, which could be things like, okay, it could work potentially in like a power 4, power 5, or this card could be really good in a 99 but is absolutely broken and should be banned as far as commander. And then just who cares, unban it. We have enough things that since this card was banned, we can actually deal with it within the game. So let's get into it. So our very first card here is going to be Ancestral Recall. So what it does, pay 1 and then basically target player draws 3 cards. I think we can probably keep this ban. That's a pretty high-end cost or payoff for paying only 1 mana. I mean, the optimal play at 1 mana in blue to draw a card is opt, right? And in order to draw a card, you expect to pay about 2 blue. Even looking at something like Mind's Aglow, you're paying about 4 mana to end up drawing 3 cards. So choosing a target player and then drawing 3 cards off of 1 mana, let's put that right in ban, because that's no good for the format for us. Alright, next up we have balance. So each player chooses a number of lands they control equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then sacrifice the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. So it does what it says it does, right? It kind of balances out the scales. It creates a level playing field, a higher power restart to the game, right? I think balance, I didn't play when it was there, but I think we can probably unban this card. It's close to a situational, but here's the thing. I know land destruction is a no-no in Commander. With that being said, I think Wizards is slowly putting us in a situation where we have no option but land destruction. And then the other things that it ends up making you sacrifice in addition to that, talking about discarding cards and sacrificing creatures, we already have things very similar to that in the game already, and nobody really feels that it's too oppressive. So bring balance back. I'm okay with it. Let's give it a go. And next one is good old Biorhythm. So each player's life total becomes the number of creatures he or she controls. So this is a difficult one because I've thought long and hard about it, and there's a lot of people that basically say, hey, no, it should be unbanned completely outright. But imagine having 0 creatures, having this come out on turn 8, right? Even if there's a board wipe, comes out on, turn 8 or whenever you have 8 mana. And that's the game. It can be big, huge. I think there's a lot of setup to it. I don't know. I think by the time you get there, life totals will be probably 15 to 20, I would assume, depending on if you ramp into it and try and get there fairly quick. Let's put it in situational. It kind of doesn't fall in those categories that I was talking about before, where it should just be part of the 99 or whatnot, but I think it's very close to being unbanned. More unbanned than keeping it banned. So let's put it in there. Next up, everybody's favorite, Black Lotus. That's not getting unbanned. It doesn't matter what the format looks like, but sacrificing it to add 3 mana of any color for 0 cost, yeah, that's not happening. And also, they're not going to reprint it. So, good old Black Lotus. Let's throw that in ban. Next up, we have Braid's Cabal Minion. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices artifact, creature, or land. I do like that it gives you kind of that choice. I think it is much less powerful than it used to be, but I don't know. I think it's a card that, let's put it in the 99 and let's keep it out of the command zone, because I think there are plenty of situations, and especially now where we have so many extra cards that can create additional upkeeps for you. Let's put it in situational, and meaning let's leave it in the 99. Next up, we have Channel. So Channel, until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life. If you do, add 1 colorless. Lots of potential for certain combos, you know, good old Channel Fireball, right? But I think it's still a strong card. I don't think it is a format breaker. So I'm A-okay. Let's unban Channel. Alright, next up, Chaos Orb. Okay, for those that don't know, 1 tap. If Chaos Orb is on the battlefield, flip Chaos Orb onto the battlefield from a height of at least 1 foot. If Chaos Orb turns over completely at least once during the flip, destroy all non-token permanents it touches, then destroy Chaos Orb. That is a pain to keep track of. That is a pain to basically regulate. And oh, I think it touched the corner just a little bit. Yeah, no, let's not do this. Let's stay away from creating mini games within the game itself. For me, keep Chaos Orb banned and no sight of coming back. Alright, Coalition Victory. So you win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each color, right? And it ends up costing 8 for you. I think it's fine. We have very similar cards that do some sort of version of this. Yeah, it might be a little bit slower than Coalition Victory, but I don't know. It's slow enough, especially where the format is right now. I'm not worried about it. I think it's a good old easy unban for us. So now, Dockside Extortionist. One of the controversial cards that led us into this whole situation of Wizards having full control over the format. If you don't know Dockside Extortionist, 1 and a red. Dockside Extortionist enters the battlefield. When it enters, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. It could be a situational card, but I honestly think let's keep Dockside banned. I know that it's one of those cards that everybody really likes and feels like it isn't that strong. We should bring it back, but there are too many ways in the format to abuse it and just get ridiculously infinite mana for basically 0 output, right? So Dockside, maybe it's fine to sit on the sidelines. Now we have Emrakul, the Aeon Torn. So it can't be countered, and it's a 15 cost card, and it's a 15/15. When you cast Emrakul, take an extra turn after this one. It has flying, protection from colored spells, Annihilator 6. When Emrakul is put into the graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library. Interesting card. It does a lot of things, and I think that is one of those weird situations that we have here. I think we can put it in the middle, right? I think it's potential to be unbanned. I think it's one of those cards that isn't as scary as it used to be. You know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns. There. It's unbanned now. There. Now, Saviors of Kamigawa. We have one in the blue, flying whenever the fourth spell of a turn is cast. Flip it, and then it's a legendary enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell for the first time in a turn, counter that spell. That's a pain. That's a real big pain. I can see it not working in Commander in casual ranks, but I think you could put this card, make it kind of like a game changer type of thing, or make it only playable in rank 4 or 5, and I think it works, right? Because you should have enough strong, powerful answers to make something happen there. It feels ridiculous, but there's a lot of lead-in to make it happen, and I know casting 4 spells in Commander isn't crazy, because you can stack a bunch of really low-cost spells and then just counter the first spell every turn that somebody plays, and people are just going to shut off their decks then, right? So I think it's situational, and I think in the higher ranks, sure, maybe it'll be fine. Next up, Falling Star. Flip Falling Star onto the play area from a height of at least 1 foot. Falling Star deals 3 damage to each creature it lands on. Tap all creatures dealt damage by Falling Star. If Falling Star doesn't turn completely over at least once during the flip, it has no effect. Easy. We are going to put that right up there with Chaos Orb. Keep it banned. We don't need mini games, big mini games like this in addition to it, and it's going to create so much extra controversy. It's fine being banned. Now we have Fast Bond. You may put as many lands into play as you want each turn. Fast Bond deals 1 damage to you for each land beyond the first that you put or that you play in a single turn. Fine. Honestly, yeah. Let's just unban it. I think there's a lot of additional things that you can stack up on that do the same effect of giving you some additional lands, not as many as you want, but I think pinging it kind of gives us that general balance that we typically have on cards similar to this nowadays. I understand the first line of text super strong and can be ridiculous, but most casual decks will probably try and run it, but they're not going to get payoff like many competitive decks, and I don't think it ruins casual Commander necessarily. So next, Flash. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sacrifice it unless you pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2. You know, I think it's a really strong card. Clearly, you put a card directly onto the battlefield. Minus 2 colorless is the mana cost that you pay. I'm gonna say situational. That's where I'm gonna put it. I want to say unbanned, but it's real close there. So situational it is for Flash. All right, gifts ungiven. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names. Reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, then shuffle your library. I think this is a good, fairly decent card. It's kind of giving me Fact or Fiction vibes, which I understand. That's, you take the top 5 off your deck. You're not actually going and searching for these specific things. I don't think it becomes an issue everywhere in the format, but it can get out all of the combo pieces necessarily that you need from your deck and create a problem there. I think we're going situational. I think it's another one of those where In casual commander, it becomes a very, very strong card, and everybody is playing basically 5 cards in their deck. A Gifts Ungiven, and then the 4 others that they get, and then has some sort of engine to just pull everything out of the graveyard and play it. Next up, we have Golos. Golos, I think, is a easy one. When it enters, you may search your library for a land card, put that card onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. And then for 2 and Wooburg, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying their mana cost. Strong card. As soon as it came out, it was basically shut down and put in the corner. So I think this is an easy one. Situational. Put it in the 99. Don't let it be a commander. Yeah, you can find ways to reanimate it back out of the library, but nope, that's okay. That's okay for me. Now, Grizzlebrand, the good old reprint that it just got too, and also kind of crashed out. 4 and 4 black, flying, lifelink, pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. It's a 7/7. Okay, so this is probably one of the strongest draw engines that the game really has, and it's merely just because in Commander you end up having 40 life, right? And then this guy has lifelink also. So, you know, you pay 7, draw 7 cards, maybe cast a few, maybe hang on to some, attack, he has lifelink, you gain that 7 life back. Do it all over again, right? I am going to go again in situational. I think there is a place where Grizzlebrand can live. I think it is a version of the format where there is a little bit more responsibility for not letting your opponents get out of hand. But I think just completely outright unbanning it, that's going to cause issues for sure. Next up, Hull Breacher. So 2 and a blue, flash. If an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. Yeah, I can see where it could get really crazy. I don't know. I think, yeah, it's a powerful card. You know what? I think it's just a little less powerful than Dockside Extortionist, but I think it can be more powerful because there are so many effects that can cause people to draw or discard their hand and draw up to a certain amount, especially in blue. I think the card's just insane. Like, almost in blue is probably a better Dockside, honestly. So there we go. Let's leave Hull Breacher. Ban. Iona, Shield of Emeria. 6 and 3 white, flying. As Iona enters, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of that chosen color. It's a 7/7. Yeah. Yeah. Let's put that guy right in ban, because that's going to stop people from casting multicolored spells. I think if this says casting monocolored spells of chosen color, it's fine, but I think just allowing it to shut down any of, say, you choose black and it's black and white cards, I think that just ruins the game, makes it even worse stacks and worse fun than anything else. Let's leave that ban. Alright, next up we have good old Jeweled Lotus. So the second piece of the trifecta that led Wizards in order to take full control over this whole thing, unban it. Unban it. Unban it. Yeah. I think that's the best thing. Like, it is kind of Black Lotus feels, but you spend it only to cast your commander, all of that mana that you make. So even if you can keep abusing it, you can only spend it to cast your commander. So yeah, I think that was a little bit of an overstep, and I know that fast mana was what they were trying to take care of, but the format doesn't feel any slower without this. And maybe that's because it's more of a competitive range, so maybe it should be situational if it really was that big of an issue in competitive. But your average local game store or casual play groups, you might have seen it, but it didn't feel like, with it gone, nothing feels like it's changed, right? All right, we have Caracas. So tap and add 1 planes to your mana pool, then return target legendary creature to its owner's hand. Okay. So, unban it. Unban it. Unban it. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, let's unban it, because I think there are more than enough things that can be abused to return basically any creature to an opponent's hand, or any creature to any player's hand, that, yeah, why are we playing this cat and mouse game? Unban it. I don't think it's as strong as it used to be. I still think it's strong, but I don't think it is the one and only thing that does a lot, right? We have other situations that are really going to work for us here. All right, next up, Leovold. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Okay. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think let's let it play. Let's let it ride. I mean, it hasn't been, well, it has been, over 10 years since it entered into the format. Let's unban it. Let me see what happens. Let's go. Yeah, it shuts off opponents' draw engines, which might be their whole scheme of their deck, but let's deal with it. You know what? Situational. Let it be in the 99, don't let it be a commander. There. I'll meet you in the middle. Library of Alexandria. Tap and add 1 colorless mana. Tap, draw a card, activate this ability only if you have exactly 7 cards in hand. Yeah, I think it is. I think we have a lot more interaction printed for basically abilities. Well, I guess this probably, yeah, no, this probably be an ability. I say let's unban it. Maybe this is the wrong one. Maybe this is the wrong answer. But let's unban it and let's see where it goes, right? Because it's been banned for quite a long time. So let's let the format function with it and see what happens. I would be interested to see what happens. Because, like, I understand in the opening hand of the game, you end up getting that additional that might be able to make things happen and pump through. But I think this is one of those cards that in casual you don't have a problem at all. In competitive, yes, it can be abused, but there, we have ways to navigate around that, right? And yeah, I don't know. Let's play it. Let's play it in casual. Limited resources. When limited resources comes into play, each player chooses 5 lands he or she controls, then sacrifices the rest. As long as there are 10 or more lands in play, players cannot play lands. I say keep that bad boy banned, because here is the situation that you're running into. Commander is a multiplayer format, and there will always, almost always, be more than 10 lands in play super easily, right? So let's get it out of there. I don't have a problem with the land destruction. I have a problem with the second ability, and that is my ruling. All right, Lutri, the Spell Chaser. So companion, each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. Cool. And then Flash enters the battlefield. If you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah, I mean, you're just playing it for its companion cost, right? Or not cost, but playing it as a companion all the time. Let's put it in situational, because I think it would be good, but I think let's just get rid of companion, right? Get rid of companion. The card becomes a nothing burger, and I understand that's where its power is, but I mean, just, I don't know, just fix it. Let's errata it and take it away, something like that. I don't know, but that's where I think we are. Mana Crypt, the third and final piece of the trifecta of doom for the Independent Commanders Rules Committee. Super easy decision here, but let's read it. During your upkeep, flip a coin. Opponent calls heads or tails while the coin is in the air. If the flip ends in the opponent's favor, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. And then it is tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool, activate this ability as an instant, right? Yeah. Unban it. Once again, just similar to Jeweled Lotus, it's gone. I don't feel it really. And I did play against players that did have Mana Crypt in their decks, and I don't feel like their deck has slowed down or has become less threatening, because especially for something like this, there's always another card, right? Throw Ancient Tomb in instead. Like, okay, done. So Mana Crypt, unban. Alright, Mox Emerald, and it is a 0 cost, and tap, add a forest to your mana pool. So this is one of those cards that, just because it adds colored mana into your mana pool, it opens up a world of possibilities for you to be able to go through and just combo off and win the game before turn 2, right? I think when we're looking at these good old Moxes, let's leave them banned. Keep that guy banned. Alright. And then we have Mox Jet, ban it. Mox Pearl, ban it. Mox Ruby, ban it. Mox Sapphire, ban it. Alright, so this Mox up here is for all of them, even though it's just the Mox Sapphire in the image there. Next up, Nadu. Very easy one. Flying creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. I think nobody will be surprised. Let's keep Nadu banned, because that was a bad time. Even though it was a week, it was a bad time. Alright, Panoptic Mirror. Let's see, Imprint X, tap. You may exile an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost X from your hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may copy a card exiled with Panoptic Mirror. If you do, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Okay. I don't think it's a big deal. We have things that kind of do similar stuff to this already. How much mana are you going to dump into that? That's another question. Cool. Let's unban Panoptic Mirror. Let's have fun. Talking about fun, Paradox Engine. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. Yeah. Neat card. Let's keep it banned. That's yeah. Nope, not playing with that. Too strong. That is whenever you cast a spell. So you cast a spell, you tap all your stuff out that you need to before it resolves, or before you cast the spell, you tap everything out, get the value, cast the spell, untap it, and then keep going and doing it over and over and over again. If you have mana rocks, you can basically cast out your whole deck and just win the game if Paradox Engine is down. So yeah, spooky. Now we have Primeval Titan. Trample. Whenever Primeval Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library for 4 green. Yeah, so let's unban it. I think it's kind of bonkers because especially the first turn it comes down, you have potential to end up getting 4 lands out of it and then just making insane plays. But I think we have ways to manage it now, for sure, especially since M11, right? So unban. Prophet of Crufix. Untap all creatures and lands you control during each other player's untap step. You may cast creature cards as though they had flash for 3 and Simic. Nope. I think that is way too strong, especially in Simic colors, right? Let's leave it banned. Now we have Reoccurring Nightmare. Sacrifice a creature, return Reoccurring Nightmare to owner's hand. Put target creature card from your graveyard into play. Play this ability as a sorcery for 3 and a black. Yeah, I mean, it's a real good card. It really is. But I think we have almost less expensive, looking at the sacrifice creature cost there, ways to get creatures from graveyard or from library or from hand back into play. Let's unban it. Let's do it. Now, Rofellos, Anawar Emissary. Tap, add 1 green mana you control, or add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each forest you control. Yeah, let's do situational, because I like it, but I like it if we can play it not as a commander and part of the 99. As a commander, like, you're going to generate basically potentially infinite mana, near infinite mana, to the point that you just keep playing the creature over and over and over again, or you keep playing cards out of your hand or whatever. It's going to cause issues. Let's let it be in the 99 and nothing else. So Shahrazad, there we go, something like that. Players play a magic subgame using their libraries as decks. Each player who doesn't win the subgame loses half of their life rounded up. Nope. We're not playing minigames. This is not Magic the Forevering. Alright. Now, we have Sundering Titan. When Sundering Titan enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, choose a land of each basic type. Then destroy those lands. Yep. I think, well, let's see. When it enters or leaves. Sundering Titan. Yeah, that feels like real naughty land destruction. And I mentioned before, I think there is a way that, or a period of time very soon that we're coming up on where land destruction is going to be needed because the lands are just so good. But I think having an ability like this and making it very easy to abuse, let's leave it. Let's leave it in the past. Let's not bring it back out. Sway of the Stars. Each player shuffles their hand, graveyard, and all permanents they own into their library, draws 7 cards. Each player's life total becomes 7. Yeah, that sounds fun, actually. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, let's do it. Might as well. It does kind of create a pseudo mini game within Magic, but like really what it's doing is it's kind of gives me like that balance effect, right? All right, everybody starts over, except this time we're playing 7 life. And I mean, your commander tax still stays. So yeah, there you go. And I get it, because then people are like, well, it hex over other people because then they can't play cards, or they can't play their commander, and their deck may be based around their commander. But like, you should have additional win cons rather than just, well, I get my commander out, I play these 2 cards, and I win the game. So, Sway of Stars. Yeah, let's go. Sylvan Primordial. Reach. When Sylvan Primordial enters the battlefield, for each opponent, destroy target non-land creature that player controls. For each permanent destroyed this way, search your library for a forest card and put that card onto the battlefield tapped. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. I'm okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Bet. I'm on board. Next up, Time Vault. When Time Vault enters tapped, Time Vault doesn't untap during your untap step. If you would begin a turn while Time Vault is tapped, you may skip that turn instead. If you do, untap Time Vault and then tap it. Take an extra turn after this one. Ooh. I think it's a rough one because you have ways to basically untap Time Vault, and then you can tap it again, and then you untap and you tap it again, and you untap and you tap it again, and you untap and you tap it again, and then you have 500 turns and nobody gets to play the game. Yeah, let's leave the extra turns for the instants and the sorceries. Yeah. Alright. Next, we have Time Walk. Take an extra turn after this one. Very cheap. Potential to abuse. Honestly, though, like, I think I've played Time Stretch in my Brago deck, and I just have Archaeomancer and I bounce it back and I get 2 turns, and then I take 1 turn off, bouncing it back to my hand after I cast it, and I can get infinite turns that way. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Unban it. Watch me. Watch me. Unban it. Uh-oh. We're missing a card. We're missing a card. Oh, what card is it? Well, we'll skip one. Tolarian Academy. So tap, add 1 blue for each artifact you control. Yeah, I don't care. Unban it. Unban it. It's less oppressive, it feels like, for me than basically Gaia's Cradle. It's so easy to make creatures, especially if you're running like just a green deck or a green-white deck or something like that. Now even red populates 1,000,000 goblins. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. And especially, we have Vandal Blast now. Vandal Blast will destroy Tolarian Academy. Bring it back. I want to have fun. Trade secrets. Target opponent draws 2 cards, then you draw up to 4 cards. That opponent may repeat this process as many times as he or she chooses. That's fine. That's fine. Let's play a game of chicken. And let's see who draws the winning stuff first. Right? Although, let me move it to situational, because I think it creates kind of a little bit of a power vacuum where only 2 players are playing the game in a 4-player format, right? Now we have Upheaval. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Yeah. All permanents. All permanents. I don't like it. Let's leave it banned, because the whole fact of it is a different version than, what is it? The Sway of the Seas? Whatever this card is here. Because all things come back to hand. So first off, you're probably going to have to discard at your next turn, for sure, unless you bounced a Reliquary Tower back to hand. And life totals don't get minimized to kind of put everything in range to make it that quicker, faster game, right? So Upheaval can get the heck out of here. Now Yawgmoth's bargaining the last one that we have right now. So for black, skip your draw step, pay 1 life, draw a card. I can see where it can be a problem, because it's, but I think it's worse than Grizzlebrand, right? Because yeah, you can pay 10 life, but you can't gain 7 back off of it. So sure, let's unban it. And I am sorry, I don't know what that other guy is off the top of my head. So there you go, everybody. That is my rankings. Tell me what you think. Did I miss something? Did I get something wrong? Or was it just chef's kiss perfect? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, have fun, and let's see what happens on the 22nd.